being here. Today we have a very exciting session. It's a very exciting children's session, but anyone who's an adult is the same as a child right now because you need to go back into storytelling time. So today we have a very interesting author, an author who came to us all the way from Palestine. An author who was award-winning in some of her stories, and she translated a lot of interesting books. An author who basically wrote some of her stories from prison. So please, can you all help me welcome Dr. Sonia Nimr. Dr. Sonia, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your experience and how you start your writing stories?
Okay. My first two stories, actually, I was a political prisoner in an Israeli prison, and I wrote two stories for children, but both of them were confiscated, taken away, so I disappeared. But after that, I wrote two books in English, actually, but they were not published in English. So I rewrote them in Arabic, and the first two books were published in 1996. Since then, I continued writing. I have now 17 books. 3 of them are novels, and the others are children's books.
Can you tell us more about the children's books? What was the title? What were the covers? I heard that you have a lot of exciting ones, like, for example, means the story that's the beginning and the end is all about creativity and imagination. So can you tell us more about the books?
Okay, let me start with my first two books. The first one is called Tamburi's Shoes. And it is the Tamburi who has huge shoes, and he doesn't want to get rid of them because he's miser. And he doesn't want to spend money, but every time he gets rid of the shoes, they turn up back again somehow. Making a lot of problems and hassle for him. So that was fun, actually, and it was written in colloquial Arabic. Well, not exactly Palestinian colloquial. Anybody can read them easily. And I think it might need to be reprinted because the first time we published in Palestine back in 1996. The books, we did not have this art of illustration and, fancy covers. It was really tiny. If you look at it today, you find it not very interesting. But I hope we'll republish it again. And another one is about the swallow who saved humanity, actually, more or less, because humans were destined to be eaten by the snake, which was exiled from heaven. And this is a fable story that stories like why the swallow, why mosquito makes zzz and doesn't speak, and why snakes eat frogs. So
nice. It's so exciting. I got excited now.
Yeah, it's really it's fun. Another 13 books. One is about the fly, and the heroine actually of the book is the fly. Her name is Saluba. And another one is Mukhtar with big ears because he has huge ears and everybody was laughing at him.
So there are lots of different topics from the books that you are actually mentioning. And today we're featuring قصة أولها وآخرها خيال, right? This is the book that we're going to feature today in our session, okay? And this is also another exciting book that actually Sonia Nimr wrote for us. So tell us more about the book.
Okay, the original is based on folk tales, but then again, for a writer, it's difficult to copy literally a folk tale because it's written in a different way. So I added some details and I added a little bit of humor, and I rewrote it completely to be hopefully accepted and enjoyed by children.
So Shall we start reading some parts of the books?
I prefer to tell the story actually than.
Please go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to tell the story in English and then tell it in Arabic. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody who doesn't speak English here?
Speak English, but we love Arabic.
Of course, but because we have our young audience,
Both languages.
I'll say it in both languages. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a king. He has a huge kingdom, so big, so vast, so rich. And he has only one son. And every time he tells his son, why don't you get married? And the son says, I don't want to get married. Come on, why don't you get married? Nah, I don't want to get married. Then one day the king took his son, closed the door, and said, look, why don't you go around my kingdom and find a princess and marry her? And the son said, she doesn't have to be a princess. So the king said, okay, go around my kingdom and find the richest girl and marry her. But the son said, she doesn't have to be rich. The king said, okay, go around my kingdom and find the most beautiful girl you can find. And the son said, she doesn't have to be beautiful. And the king was really angry. You don't want a princess, you don't want a rich girl, you don't want a beautiful girl. What do you want? And the son said, the girl of my dreams is a girl who reads a lot and knows how to tell stories. So the king said, and where am I going to find a girl like that? And the prince said, easy! We make a big party and we invite all the girls. And the girl who tells me a story that begins and ends with lies will be my future wife. So they had a big party. Okay, so they made a big party in the palace and huge feast. And girls came from all over the kingdom. The tall ones, the short ones, the beautiful ones, the ugly ones, the fat ones, the thin ones, the stupid ones, the clever ones, all of them came. And each one of them wanted to tell a story that begins and ends with lies to the prince. So the first one came in, and she was really beautiful. She stood in front of the prince and she said, once upon a time, and all the men in the hall went, except for the prince. He was not impressed. And he said, all stories begin with once upon a time. I need a story that begins and ends with lies. So all the girls tried, and each one of them tried to impress the prince, but he was not impressed. Finally, a girl came from the end of the hall. She wasn't, extremely beautiful. She was like normal, like us. And she stood in front of the prince, and she said, when my great-grandmother married to my great-grandfather, they invited me to their wedding. And that was a feast. We had a big party at the wedding, and we ate, and we danced, and we sang, and my great-grandfather, my great-grandmother gave me an egg as a present. So I took the egg, and I was so happy with it. I was going home, playing with the egg all the way home, but suddenly I dropped the egg, and it broke. And out of the egg came a rooster. But this was not an ordinary rooster. It was a huge rooster with colors and feathers and everything. The rooster was actually as big as a horse. So I said, great, since the rooster is as big as a horse, I can ride on it and go everywhere. So I did. I rode on my rooster and I visited every village, every town, every sea, wherever. But one day I noticed that my rooster's back was a bit sore. Perhaps I rode it too much. So I went to the medicine man and I said to him, look, my rooster has a sore on its back. And the medicine man said, no problem, bring a date, take the stone out of the date, crush the stone, take the oil, and rub it on the back of the rooster, he will be perfect. So I did. I rubbed the oil from the stone of the date on the back of my rooster, and I went to sleep. Next morning, I went to find out what happened to my rooster. And lo and behold, on the back of my rooster, I found a huge palm tree has grown up. It is my rooster and it is my palm tree. And I looked at the palm tree, and there were dates this big. Yummy, brown, juicy. So I decided to try these dates. But the tree was so high, reaching the sky. So I started to take stones and throw them at the dates, and the dates will come down, and I taste them. I ate a lot of dates. But when I was just about to eat the last one, an idea came to my mind. How come all these stones that I threw up never came back? Where did they go? So I decided to go and check it out. So I climbed the palm tree. First day, second day, third day, fourth day, I was on the top. And on the top of the palm tree, there was a huge land. Brown, fertile, just waiting for me to plant anything on it. And I was thinking, what shall I plant on my land? Your Highnesses, remember that is my land, that grew on my palm tree, that grew on the back of my rooster, that came out from my egg, which was given to me by my great-grandfather and my great-grandmother. So I decided to plant sesame seeds. In the morning, I put the sesame seeds. In the afternoon, all the harvest was ready. So I collected thousands and thousands and thousands of sacks of sesame seeds. But then I thought, maybe I should count my sesame seeds. So I counted all of them, and indeed, one was missing. So I decided to look for my sesame seed. And I looked, and I looked, and there was a little teeny weeny little ant carrying my seed and running away with it. I followed the ant, and I got hold of the end of the seed. But the ant grabbed the other end. So I pulled, and the ant pulled, and I pulled, and the ant pulled, and I pulled. So the sesame seed broke, and an oil of sea came out of it. So I wrote myself outside my sea. I have 2 seasons now. I have a lot of sesame and a lot of sesame oil. In the morning, I was thinking, what shall I plant on my land? So I thought, maybe I should plant watermelons. So in the morning, I put the seeds. In the afternoon, each watermelon was this big and bigger. Some were green, some were yellow, some were pink, some were orange, some were square, some were triangular. I looked at my watermelons, and I saw a blue square watermelon, and I thought that must be the juiciest. So I took my 20-meter sword, and I went to the watermelon, and I cut a hole in it. I wanted to try it, but as I was just about to try the watermelon, I noticed there is a stairwell inside the watermelon. So I decided to check it out. So I went down the stairs. First day, second day, third day. On the fourth day, I found myself in a town. Big town, with markets, shops, mosques, churches, everything. So I started wandering around the town. And while I was wandering, I noticed an old man sitting on the ground and looking really sad. So I went to him and I said, "Can I help you? You look really sad." And the old man said, "Look!" And there on the ground was his donkey, putting 2 legs on top of 2 legs, smoking a cigarette. And the old man said, the donkey was taking a break since the morning, and the man works as a porter, so he needs the donkey to carry the goods from one place to the other. I said, "Don't worry. You get hold of the donkey's head, I get hold of the donkey's tail, and we pull it and we make it stand. So the old man held the donkey's head, I held the donkey's tail, and we pulled, but the donkey didn't budge. So we tried again. He held the head, I held the tail, and we pulled. It didn't budge. So I said, okay, that takes a little bit of strength. I went to the tail, I grabbed the tail, the donkey ended up on the ground, and the tail came in my hand. Your Highnesses, I have no idea when suddenly a crowd of people was behind me, pushing me, and they all shouting, justice, justice. I ended up in the city's prison. Next morning was my trial. The hall was crowded with people. Everybody wanted to know what is the judge wants going to punish me with. The judge was sitting at the end of the hall with no expression whatsoever on his face. So someone shouted, "Kill her!" No expression. Someone said, "Let her stay in prison until she rots." No expression. And then a genius came and whispered something in his ear, and he smiled. And oh dear, I saw my death in that smile. So the judge said, "We are going to banish the stranger out of our country who dared to cut our beloved donkey. So what we are going to do is going to put her inside a barrel of a gun and shoot her. And wherever she lands is not our problem." So they took me, shoved me in the barrel of a gun, and they shot me. And I was flying. And I flew and flew and flew until I landed in Your Highness's party.
Wow. What a lie.
The original name of the story is a story that begins and ends with lies, actually. But then the Ministry of Education insisted that I shouldn't use the word lies. So we changed the...
Imagination is sort of...
imagination is high.
How was the story?
Good.
You liked it? You felt you were on that land?
Yes.
Yes? You ate the dates?
Yes.
Did you pull the donkey's tail? Did you feel that pull?
Yeah, we saw.
You were able to see it, right? This is Dr. Sonia Nimr's inspiration. This is how she inspires not only our brain, but makes us even live this story. Wasn't it an amazing story?
Yes.
So you have a homework. You need to read all the other stories that she wrote. So you can all get as inspired as her. Right? Thank you very much, Dr. Sonia.
You're welcome. Do you have any
It was
questions?
an amazing story, and I really loved it, like all the audience over here. I'll open the floor for question and answers. So who wants to